Pro basketball fans, you're welcome to the Tyrese Haliburton and LeBron James show. What a performance. My name is Slimo. I've got Teddy and the returning KK to the show. Charlie KK, you're welcome.
Thank you, Charlie.
All right, so for today, we'll be speaking of something that we didn't speak about earlier. The new feature that has come to the new NBA season, the in-season tournament, a feature added by Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, and others to make the regular season a little bit more interesting and competitive. So it was played in a group stage format, like a knockout stage format. We had all the teams in the groups, and then of course 2 teams progressing from the groups, making it to the quarterfinals, semifinals, and we are now at the final stages. But the semifinals games that were played, very, very interesting. We had the Pacers taking on the Bucks. We had the Lakers taking on the Pelicans. We'll be reviewing those 2 games, and I'll be starting with Teddy on this one. Now, the earlier game, the 10 p.m. game where we saw the Bucks take on the Pacers. The Pacers were like the underdogs coming into this one. The fairy tale story of the in-season tournament, making it all nice and everything. Took on the Bucks. Were able to beat the Bucks in convincing fashion with how they played in that fourth quarter. What do you think went down for the Pacers that gave them that victory over the Bucks?
First of all, I want to give shout out to Haliburton. That was an amazing performance.
Incredible performance.
I didn't expect it against a team like Bucks, but then he was just showing up every time. He goes to the bench, comes back, and he's still performing. That was amazing. And you see, you are facing a team like Bucks. They have 2 bigs. That is Giannis and Lopez. And then you have only 1 big on there. That's only tenor you have. So my mind was maybe Tenor was going to find it difficult to rotate.
I think Obi Toppin was doing very, very well. Giannis at times.
And one thing Kalau did that I really liked was he put smaller guards on Giannis. So I saw Nesmith on Giannis. I saw Hield, even but Hield on Giannis. In a sense where when a small guard is defending you, he's on your base, he's at your base. So when you try to dribble, one dribble, you are susceptible to turning the ball over or the ball being stolen from someone coming from behind. And when you have a smaller guard on you, there's this small voice in your mind that he's small.
Yeah, so you have overpower him. Of course,
overpower him. And once you do that, they will draw the contact. They will draw it. And Nesmith was always getting it. He was always getting the fouls. And one problem I have with Giannis and Dame, you guys, you have Dame. You have Giannis. Start with the pick and roll. I don't know why they are not running that.
Even play. I think in one of the press conferences, Dame said they are focusing on other pick and rolls like him and Bobby Portis, him and Lopez. But him and Giannis, they've not really worked on that.
Because during the first quarter, I saw Middleton and Giannis. So Giannis was either moving from cutting from the baseline, and then it was an alley hoop for him, or he was
they
rolling.
Have that cohesion because they played together.
He was rolling, and then alley hoop again. So it was working. So what if it's Dame and Giannis? Like, let's think about it. What will happen if it's both of them? Because if it's Dame, off of the pick and roll or the screen, he can shoot a 3. He can drive because he's able to turn the corner. Or he gives it to Giannis because he can bully his way through the defense. Either he gets a big he can bully through, or a smaller guard. They should be doing it.
Very, very interesting game. KK, I'll come to you on this one. Now, for the Pacers, we knew their offense runs through one man, Tyrese Haliburton. And when he's not on the floor, sometimes it can raise concerns. But this time, the second unit, led by TJ McConnell, did excellently. What do you think they did so well that made them beat the Bucks?
Actually, that was where I was going to. Teddy rightfully so talked about, Giannis and then his dominance, and then, small guys like Buddy Hield and co having minutes guarding him and all that. But he produced. Giannis had
I don't think he was too bad.
Let me see. Let me check. I just want to check.
Fact check.
37 points. That it's enough. Yeah. And he played 41 minutes. But now, the question you asked me, let's look at the bench.
Mike.
Now, the Bucks were outscored. I mean, the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bucks bench were outscored by 43-13.
Wow.
How do you win a game by... So, you see, Giannis had high minutes, 41 minutes.
Dame had high minutes.
Middleton,
Lopez,
they all produced. Yeah. But then, when you go to the bench, that was where the problem is. And let me chip this in. You realize that at the end of the game, locker room conversations popped out.
Yeah.
This guy was complaining. Bobby Portis was complaining about his minutes and then the plays that were run for them during the bench players, coming to play and all that. So I think that the bench of the coach
pieces
needs to needs
the backs,
yeah, the backs coach needs to be.
You think maybe there's
the
inexperience with Adrian Griffin? With
I don't
him
think
being
it's
the first time head
inexperience.
coach?
You see how the Clippers struggle with the James Harden issue. Now, when they put Russ on the bench, it might just be the matchups, people who are starting and people who have synergy, playing together. So if you have people or lineups that will have people who can be able to play together and gel together on the same field, I think it'll be better for them. But for me, I think Pacers, they are like a unicorn in the sense that when I say unicorn, they are unique in the sense that these are just 23-year-olds, 21-year-olds, but they are soul. In them, it looks like they've played in the league for like 15, 17. You see Haliburton, and now he's just like Steph Curry. Yeah. For crying out loud. I'm exaggerating. I'm exaggerating
one of the best point guards in the game.
In the league, so
and he had 15 assists with no turnovers.
That's amazing.
0 turnovers.
Man, that kid... Sacramento Kings right now will be like an X.
No, but
when you have
really lose,
I feel you, but let me finish. When you have an X, right? And you are like, oh shit, I left this girl and she's doing so well. Kings traded this guy.
Haliburton.
For Sabonis, right?
But Sabonis is not doing too bad.
You see, the thing is that's why NBA managers, they find it so difficult, the GMs. You have De'Aaron Fox. It's just like the Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Right? So what do you do with Fox? Fox is actually a great player. But you look at Haliburton right now, he's like the cornerstone of any team. And you want to have him. So what do you do?
Watching that game, I was very particular about that 2-man game with Haliburton and then Turner. Of course, the pick and roll, they'll go to that. But every single time, it seemed like Haliburton will reject the pick, go and do his own thing, find the open shooter, find OB topping in the corner. And that was excellent. I see you wanted
one other thing I wanted to add is the backs transition defense, getting back on defense is so bad.
And the Pacers are also one of the fastest in the league.
I think there was one point where Bucks made a point, and in less than 4 seconds, the Pacers got the points back. It was so fast. And there's this thing where Dame, when getting back on, it was multiple times getting back on defense. He was walking.
Star player.
No, you should
you said this not before.
No, there's like
if you are playing 37 minutes and you are
sometimes you have
gas.
You should get back on. I understand you are doing so well on the offense, but on defense it's so important because you need to come back. The Pacers are so fast. Their name and their style of play is the same. They are playing at the same pace.
We say give we bars, you don't give us now. You won't give bars.
They are playing at the same pace. So you need to get back on defense because if you don't do that, there's always that disadvantage because Lopez is slow. He's not getting back on defense. So now the perimeter defenders must cover. So he comes back. He and Giannis settles down.
All right. So moving away from the Eastern Conference matchup, we have our Eastern Conference finalists in the in-season tournament. The Indiana Pacers. Now let's go to where LeBron ran the show from minute 1 to, in fact, just 23 minutes, 30 points for LeBron James as the Lakers beat the Pelicans by 40 plus, was even 50 points, really beats them fair and square. Kiki, I'll start with you on this one. The Lakers and the Pelicans, looking at the matchup before they even started, I felt like it was a good matchup for the Pelicans because they also played two bigs in Zion and Valanciunas, and then with AD also facing that. I thought it was going to be a close one. What do you think made it so easy for the Lakers?
First of all, let me say this. You can hate LeBron, you can love LeBron, but there's always a saying, you cannot ignore him.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie,
he always remind you, yeah.
39 years of age. That's like in basketball, he's like a grandpa.
Yeah.
That is why we have
two decades in the
We
NBA
have footages of his own coach, Davin Ham,
guarding
him while he was in play.
And even
you see? So now, let's talk about the game. I was very impressed with, first of all, the beginning of the game. Like, people say it's a blowout, but they don't realize that in the first quarter, actually,
it was a close game.
The Pelicans were leading and they were grooving. I felt like,
close.
Hey, the Lakers are in real trouble because of the way they started. But that's the problem I see with the Pelicans. Now, there's this thing called, this new thing in NBA called point forward. And that is what this guy is
point forward.
That is what Zion is doing. And it's not helping the team at all. Trust me, if you're a shooter, you need touches. If you are someone who like lays the ball up, you're an energy guy, you go to the rim hard, you roll hard, and you don't actually need the ball. Unless, of course, you're like a Jokic or some kind of guy who can really dish out, assist and all that kind of things, can run a team very well. If you have someone like Zion and you have someone like Ingram, first, if I'm a coach or if I wouldn't blame their coach or I would say that I'm better than him or something. But if I'm a coach, the shooters have to get their touches and get their rhythm first before you cater to those who go to the rim. Because Zion can get his running through the rim, like going back and forth. pick and rolls and all that. He can get his. So let Ingram and CJ McCollum have touches so that they can have rhythm. They didn't. CJ McCollum was unproductive, very silent.
He was
in the
coming
game.
off from an injury, so
You see, and then Brandon Ingram had just 13 shots. Come on. I mean, Zion is not feeding him. He's not even calling for the ball. And we don't even know the team. Who is it for? Is it for Zion or
Yes.
Ingram? They are saying it's for Zion.
Yes.
But Ingram is the better player right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they have issues. And if you ask me...
They've definitely got some things to sort out. Now, we've been complaining about the Lakers 3-point shooting. But this time, they were red hot from three. And I think that kind of sparked this amazing performance from the Lakers. What was your take on the whole thing?
first of all, I'm happy for the NBA and the in-season tournaments, and I want LeBron and the Lakers to win because it's a sense.
Hey, as a Celtics fan.
Yes, it's in a sense where
I actually didn't hear him well. Can you repeat that?
yes.
As a Celtics
fan, I want LeBron and the
let's
Celtics
be
to
fair to
win
history.
and the Lakers to win.
What's the reason?
No, because in a sense where, look, if you are starting a business, maybe I'm selling shoes, and then maybe someone like Sakode buys my first sneaker, puts it on his
going to hit.
it's going to hit.
Okay,
For the sake of the future of this
In-season
thing going forward, if LeBron takes it, the next generation will be like, oh, so LeBron took it. Okay, fine. Then there's something important I should also be involved in. So I want them to win it. Second of all, LeBron, like you said, you can't avoid him. LeBron was amazing, shooting 4 for 4 from 3, even from the logo. He's old. He shouldn't be able to do this thing. And I want to enter into the hierarchy thing. You see, Zion, Ingram, and then CJ McCollum. The coach should be able to be like, yo, this is this guy's team. This is this guy's team. But I understand because when you say it's Zion's team, Zion, maybe in 2 or 3 games, he will not be available. And then Ingram might get hurt. And then it's just CJ McCollum. So there's not really that one person who is like, I'm taking charge of the team. This is my team. So all I'll say is, let's trade one person. Maybe you trade Zion.
Wow.
Maybe you trade Ingram. And then now we'll be like, now we have one guy. It's just like the Haliburton and then the Fox thing. They are both ball handlers. You can't
But I felt like Ingram and Zion complement each other well.
It's not working. It's not working out. It's not working out. It's not. You need one person to be able to hold the team, be like, I am the leader. Or you specify this is the leader of the team. And I don't think Ingram will be like, I've been on the team for so long, I should be the leader. Zion also be like, oh, I'm one of the top picks. You've seen my game.
First pick,
yes,
actually.
the first pick. You've seen my game. I should be. CJ McCollum, he knows. So he should just relax. He's 32 years old. So there should be that kind of thing. And I'm happy with Austin Reeves because he comes off from the bench as a sit man and he has been doing amazing.
I think the pressure on him in starting was kind of
yes, but now coming off the bench as a sit man, it's amazing. And Charlie, that's
speaking of Austin Reeves and though, have you witnessed this kind of hierarchy? No, I wouldn't use the word hierarchy. I would say the trend. When players, especially the US basketball team, players enter and then they come back. It seems they come with some sort of aggression.
Anthony Edwards, Haliburton,
Bridges, Mikal Bridges, these guys.
True.
The
It's a
same
trend.
as Steph Curry. Steph Curry was a normal player, an all-star at best.
He went to the
FIBA World Cup, came back and
fire.
It was lights out.
Different
player altogether. So I just don't know what goes in there. Maybe when you feel like you meet a coast superstar, you feel like you want to work extra harder, and that is what Haliburton has found.
And there's also that thing where out of many players you've been selected, out of that few you've been selected. So it's
the privilege that it comes with. Yeah. All right, so those are the two teams that are making the finals: the Pacers and the Lakers. I just want to give props to LeBron James before we close this one out. Almost 39 years of age, still breaking records, 30 points in 23 minutes. Should we start putting this guy in the MVP conversation? I think the last time when we did the top 5 players in the league, George had him number 1 player in the league. Or maybe that might be true. We'll find out if he can continue like this and be the MVP of the league. But that's how we'll close this one out. Remember, Saturday, the championship game will be going on. The Pacers take on the Lakers. And surely, Monday, where we are back, the review of that one will go live. Make sure to stay tuned on the channel. Make sure you've already subscribed to the channel. Leave a like on the video if you're enjoying these videos. The pro basketball team will be back with more content on the channel.